Hi, my name is Karina Emery, and I'm here today to talk about becoming a furniture designer. A designer, as defined by Oxford Languages, is a person who plans the form, look, or workings of something before it's being made or built, typically by drawing it in detail. Furniture, however, is defined as large movable equipment such as tables and chairs used to make a house, office, or other space suitable for living or working. So a furniture designer would be someone who sketches out and creates prototypes and models of a piece of furniture before it is sent into production. So what does that even look like? This is a position that most people would work in full-time, and you can either work commercially or become an independent designer. And so the average salary of a furniture designer is about $53K a year. The smallest I think I found was like $34K all the way up to $99K. And so the main responsibilities of a commercial furniture designer revolved more around creating designs within company specifications or the necessities of like mass production. And so a person in this position has to be aware of the construction process and the feasibility of their designs in that mass construction process. And so an intricate hand-carved chair might not go into production versus a more easily reconstructed and simple cut chair. And so independent furniture designers would primarily work for commissions, and they would often work as an equally independent furniture builder as well. They can provide sketches or prototypes of designs, as well as taking the pieces all the way into fruition. And so these independent designers might also create pieces even without a client in mind and hope to sell it as a completed project. And then they would also have to put more of their time into marketing themselves and their own brand, as well as obtaining their own patents if necessary. So a day in the life of a furniture designer would look like not just sketching out designs all day, but ensuring pieces are functional, practical, comfortable, and attractive. They would do a lot of research to keep up with market trends and use CAD or computer-aided design programs to develop and modify these models prior to creation. And so that CAD program can also aid in the conception of how that model would even be put together, as well as the materials it's made out of, so how it would be produced for mass production. Some famous furniture designers, I have some quotes from Chad Woodruff, who's at Vermont Furniture Craftsman, and he says, "Everything I build is going to last a lifetime, generations, and it's always going to hold its value too." And I think that's something really special about furniture and furniture design, that it can last so long, that it's such a valuable thing, that it can be something that can be passed down. Dave Allard, who's a founder and master craftsman at Linden Furniture, says, "I think about every tree that is cut down and the power and privilege we have to extend its life and to display its beauty in the furniture we make." I think that's a really beautiful quote in and of itself. It really aligns with my values, talking about how I love nature, I love the earth, and really honoring and making those things really special. And something similar along those values that Charles Shackleton, who's a master craftsman at Shackleton Thomas, says is, "When a finished piece expresses our creativity either through the natural beauty of the wood, the design, or the marks of shaping left by the human hand, it sends a message. In these times, when so much is mass-produced in factories by automated machines on the other side of the world, many are treasuring that message and the natural resources that surround it." And so I think that handmade furniture is beautiful. Working independently is just so much more special and valuable to me. You can really cherish the fact that someone handmade something, especially custom-made furniture. This was made with my idea in mind, made with love in mind, and I think that's really valuable in general. That's initially why I was attracted to this field, because it fits my goal of wanting to create beautiful, functional pieces of art and improve the aesthetics of the world around me. There's also a social aspect to it. Whether you're working commercially, of course, you're going to work with your employer and work with the producers of the furniture that you're designing, but also independently working with clients and creating something that is both beautiful, but that they really want, that they're really motivated to have. And so the flexibility to work independently is really cool, being able to have my own hours, be my own boss, accept projects that I'm really excited about, or deny projects that I maybe wouldn't have time for. And then working commercially, I mean, of course, there's that benefit of financial stability. And so maybe I wouldn't be attracted to this field, or maybe would stray away from it because there's actually only a 1% projected increase for job demand over the next 10 years as of 2018. So there's very little projected increase for this line of work. Another reason would be working commercially would kind of limit the autonomy I'd have over my work, but then working independently could also lack that financial stability, and it would require a lot more out-of-pocket expenses and overhead, as well as demanding more hours of like self-marketing and networking. So how would I get there? Well, most sources will say that you need a bachelor's degree. Some will say a bachelor's or master's specifically in furniture design, but it can also, this position can also be accomplished through a bachelor's in fine arts, production design, industrial design, interior design, architectural technology, design engineering, or another related field. But others might even say that you don't even need a degree. It's probably if you become an independent furniture designer, people are going to look more at your portfolio and things that you've already made, not necessarily demand that you have a degree. And so you can build that experience by creating that portfolio, keeping up with market trends, and networking with others in the same or similar fields. And although this method might take more time and perseverance than the other two. And so where can I work? Locally, the closest position within this field that I could find was an interior designer, specifically advertised by Nebraska Furniture Mart. Nationally, however, Williams-Sonoma was hiring for a senior furniture designer in San Francisco, California. And then internationally, I actually found an ad for Zionist Inc., who's actually also based in California, but the position they were hiring for was a furniture product designer to join their design team that's based in Korea. So that's really cool. You could definitely do some traveling. And so the things that I could do right now, of course, I can continue going to school, continue to take classes, potentially get my degree in interior design or something similar. I can, of course, study the current market and keep up with interior design and furniture trends, open up a few Better Homes and Gardens magazines, sketching out and prototyping my own pieces of furniture, of course. Making doll furniture is a really good way to do prototypes. Right now I actually have my dining space taken up by more of an office space, and so I was really wanting to make a custom bar table that I can put up as an L shape against this like corner behind me in my dining room that you can't see really, but I think that'd be really cool and really fun to make up. And so it's also kind of expensive to find something similar online. And so I was like, I could probably just make it. When I was in school, I actually did take a few industrial technology classes, and we made this clock. It was really fun. I really liked beveling the wood edges and picking out a stain for it, and, you know, coming out with something that looks like it could have been manufactured. And another piece that I made was actually in an IT club, and I made this really cool shelf with these wave patterns, and I would love to, you know, work on wood carving or wood burning as another hobby, and kind of even try to go back and like refine these edges. This is super old and baked up. I would love to, you know, give it some new life and love and actually put it up in my apartment. And so lastly, things to keep in mind. Travel and remote work is possible depending on that job demand in your area. You might even have to travel in order to find a position. And so, of course, like I said earlier, the pros and cons of working commercially and independently. You know, of course, working commercially, you might not have that autonomy over, you know, creating your own projects, but you do get those benefits of regular income, paid time off, insurance. But working independently, one might have to manage these things on their own. Thanks for listening to my furniture design research and presentation.